Have you ever received a frightening call claiming your cognitive screening revealed early signs of Alzheimer's requiring immediate intervention? Edward Thompson, a 78-year-old retired history professor from Chicago, Illinois, who had been experiencing normal age-related memory changes, thought he was preventing dementia when neurologists called about urgent brain scan findings. Within 72 hours, he had paid $17,500 for fake brain treatments that caused dangerous side effects. Edward's story reveals how medical scammers target seniors with cognitive fears, using their terror of losing mental capacity as the most powerful manipulation tool. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how these fake neurologists operate and learn the warning signs that could protect cognitively concerned seniors and their families. Stay until the end, because Edward's experience shows how fake brain treatments can cause actual neurological damage while stealing money, making these scams among the most devastating healthcare frauds targeting elderly patients. The Memory Fear Call. It was a Friday afternoon in September when Edward's phone rang with a call that would exploit his deepest aging anxiety. He had just finished grading papers when his caller ID showed what appeared to be a Neurological Institute number. "Professor Thompson? This is Dr. Jennifer Martinez from the Advanced Brain Health Institute. I'm calling about critical findings from your recent cognitive assessment that show concerning patterns indicating early-stage Alzheimer's disease." Edward felt immediate terror. As an academic who prized his intellect above all else, the prospect of losing his mental faculties was his worst nightmare. Dr. Martinez continued with impressive neurological authority. "Professor Thompson, your cognitive testing results show specific memory decline patterns that indicate beta-amyloid protein accumulation in your hippocampus. Without immediate intervention, you're facing rapid cognitive deterioration." The caller knew Edward's academic background, his recent concerns about memory lapses, and even referenced appointments he had made with his primary doctor. This personal information made the diagnosis seem credible and absolutely devastating. "I need to explain how urgent early intervention is for Alzheimer's patients. The window for effective treatment is extremely narrow, but we've caught your condition at a stage where aggressive therapy can halt progression completely." Building dementia terror. Dr. Martinez continued using sophisticated neurology terminology that Edward found both impressive and terrifying. She described brain pathology and treatment protocols with medical expertise that seemed legitimate. "Your specific cognitive decline pattern shows classic signs of tau protein tangles with hippocampal atrophy. The neuroimaging reveals characteristic Alzheimer's plaques that require immediate therapeutic intervention to prevent irreversible brain damage." She explained that Edward's intellectual background meant he understood how devastating cognitive decline could be. Edward had indeed been worried about occasional memory lapses and word-finding difficulties. As a professor, you know the importance of preserving cognitive function. The brain changes we're seeing typically progress to severe dementia within 18 months without treatment, but early intervention can preserve your intellectual capacity completely. Dr. Martinez created urgency by explaining that Edward's academic achievements made him an ideal candidate for experimental brain therapy, and that immediate treatment could maintain his professional-level cognitive abilities. "We need to begin emergency neuroprotective therapy within 48 hours. This specialized treatment costs $17,500, but it's the only intervention that can stop the Alzheimer's progression we're detecting." The Brain Rescue Protocol. Dr. Martinez explained that Edward needed immediate brain therapy to prevent cognitive decline. The specialized protocol involved cutting-edge treatments designed for his specific neurological profile. Emergency Alzheimer's intervention requires immediate payment because we need to prepare personalized neuroprotective compounds for your exact brain chemistry. Standard insurance processing would delay treatment beyond the critical therapeutic window. She provided Edward with specific neurology codes and brain treatment authorization numbers that sounded official. Dr. Martinez seemed to have detailed knowledge of cognitive protocols and spoke with authority about emergency neurological procedures. I understand this is expensive and frightening, but what value do you place on preserving your mind? This treatment protocol has a 95% success rate when administered within the critical intervention period. Dr. Martinez created additional pressure by explaining that emergency neurology scheduling was extremely limited, and Edward needed to secure treatment before other Alzheimer's patients filled available slots. Based on your cognitive decline rate, we've reserved emergency treatment specifically for your case. Alzheimer's progression doesn't wait, and neither can effective intervention. The payment desperations. Edward felt overwhelmed by dementia terror and the pressure to preserve his intellectual capacity immediately. Dr. Martinez had created such convincing neurological urgency that questioning the treatment seemed like accepting inevitable cognitive destruction. He agreed to the emergency brain therapy. Dr. Martinez guided him through the payment process, explaining that the neurological treatment facility required wire transfer to secure his emergency intervention slot. Emergency Alzheimer's protocols require immediate wire transfer to guarantee neuroprotective compound preparation and brain therapy equipment availability. This is standard procedure when cognitive preservation is critical. At the wire transfer location, Edward hesitated when asked about the payment purpose. Dr. Martinez, still on the phone, coached him to explain it was for emergency brain treatment, which sounded medically urgent. Edward sent $1,700, believing he was saving his mind from Alzheimer's destruction. Dr. Martinez assured him that treatment would begin within 24 hours and provided pre-therapy instructions. You've made a mind-saving decision. This neuroprotective therapy will halt the Alzheimer's progression and preserve your cognitive abilities completely. The dangerous brain treatment. The address Dr. Martinez provided led Edward to a converted office space that appeared medical but lacked proper neurological equipment and sterile treatment environments required for brain therapy. The people claiming to be neurologists were not qualified brain specialists. They administered oral medications and intravenous substances that they claimed were personalized neuroprotective compounds for Alzheimer's prevention. The fake brain therapy involved unknown chemicals that caused immediate confusion, dizziness, and cognitive impairment worse than any memory problems Edward had experienced. When he expressed concern, the fake neurologists claimed this was normal. These symptoms show the neuroprotective compounds are crossing the blood-brain barrier effectively. Brain therapy requires initial adjustment as neural pathways are being preserved. After 12 hours of fake treatment, Edward was more confused and disoriented than he had ever been. His thinking was cloudy, his balance was impaired, and he was experiencing frightening neurological symptoms. The neurological crisis. Edward's cognitive condition deteriorated dramatically over the next 24 hours. He was experiencing severe confusion, memory gaps worse than before treatment, and concerning neurological symptoms including tremors. His daughter became alarmed by his condition and insisted on taking him to the emergency room. The neurologist there was immediately concerned by Edward's symptoms and the story of unauthorized brain treatment. Professor Thompson, you've been given substances that are causing neurological toxicity. Whatever treatment you received was not legitimate brain therapy, and these chemicals have actually impaired your cognitive function. The emergency team had to administer medications to counteract the toxic effects and stabilize Edward's neurological status. His cognitive function had been compromised by the dangerous substances. Your cognitive baseline was completely normal for your age before this treatment. You've been the victim of a sophisticated medical scam that has caused real neurological damage. The Cognitive Truth Comprehensive Neurological Evaluation revealed that Edward had no signs of Alzheimer's disease or cognitive decline beyond normal aging. His memory concerns had been completely typical for someone his age. The fake brain treatment had caused chemical-induced cognitive impairment that required weeks of recovery. Edward's natural mental acuity had been damaged by the toxic substances administered during fake therapy. Edward's real neurologist was outraged that criminals had exploited legitimate aging concerns to administer brain-damaging chemicals while claiming to provide cognitive protection. This is unconscionable. They used your natural concerns about memory to poison your brain while stealing your money. Your cognitive status was excellent before this fraudulent intervention. The investigation medical fraud investigators explained that Edward had been targeted by a sophisticated operation, focusing on cognitive fears to manipulate intellectually accomplished seniors into paying for dangerous brain treatments. The investigation revealed that the same group had scammed dozens of educated seniors, using similar fake Alzheimer's scenarios. They had stolen over $900,000 while potentially causing permanent neurological damage through toxic fake therapies. Police discovered that the scammers used detailed profiles of accomplished seniors, fake neurology credentials, and dangerous chemical substances designed to create believable brain therapy experiences. Warning signs. Edward missed. Looking back, Edward identified several red flags he wished he had recognized. Unsolicited calls about cognitive test results he never authorized. Legitimate neurologists never call patients about Alzheimer's diagnoses without established medical relationships and proper testing procedures. Immediate treatment demands with same-day payment requirements. Real brain therapy is coordinated through established medical facilities with comprehensive evaluation and insurance verification. Pressure to begin treatment without neurological consultation. Legitimate brain specialists encourage patients to seek additional opinions for major cognitive interventions, especially experimental protocols. Wire transfer requirements for neurological treatment. Established neurology centers process payments through normal medical billing and never require wire transfers for emergency treatments. The recovery process. While Edward never recovered his $17,500, his cognitive function gradually returned to normal as the toxic effects of the fake brain therapy subsided. His natural mental acuity was eventually restored. Edward's experience led to increased awareness about cognitive scams targeting intellectually accomplished seniors in his community. He began working with educational institutions to warn others about brain treatment fraud. Most importantly, Edward learned to verify all unexpected medical communications through his established healthcare providers before taking action regarding cognitive concerns. Final thoughts. Edward's story demonstrates that brain scams are uniquely cruel because they exploit seniors' deepest fear of losing their mental capacity while potentially causing actual cognitive damage. These criminals understand that intellectually accomplished individuals will pay anything to preserve their minds. The key lesson from Edward's experience is this: legitimate Alzheimer's treatment is never initiated through unsolicited phone calls demanding immediate payment. Real cognitive care is coordinated through established neurology channels with proper evaluation. If you receive calls about brain scan results or cognitive treatment, hang up and contact your established healthcare providers immediately. Never agree to brain therapy based solely on phone calls, regardless of how neurologically urgent they sound. Remember, protecting your cognitive health means working with qualified neurologists through established medical channels, not paying scammers who exploit dementia fears to administer brain-damaging fake treatments. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.